All right, so still going through these samples from ITEAWORLD. This one is Zhangping Shui Xian. And I did a little bit more research on the company, and they own some tea gardens in Fujian. So that's really cool. I've had some Fujian stuff. It's been a long time. But what I do know about the region is just that the teas are known for like their fresh, fruity sort of flavors. And so this one, I believe, is an oolong, spring picked 2023. Smells very, very sweet, very fruity, gorgeous leaves. I really like the look of the leaves. So really excited about this. The only thing is that I am legitimately hungry. I didn't want to eat anything because I didn't want to throw off any of the flavors and tasting profiles of the tea. I'm just really hoping that this does not turn into anything very active in my tummy, because it may not end well for me. But oolongs usually are pretty mild, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, just a very beautiful, beautiful bouquet. Really excited to get this thing wet and see what those colors turn into. I'm seeing like some pinks and some purples in there. I mean, that's just beautiful. I mean, my goodness. And so green too. So this is the cold brew, and this is 3 grams. And this is my kind of an experiment as far as the amount of water. I just wasn't sure exactly what to do. So this is like a 1.5 liter bottle. So this is maybe, I don't know, 20 ounces of water, maybe a bit more. So yeah, let's see what we get. What am I looking for? Oh, just gonna pour this right in. I wasn't able to pull like any specific fruit out of the dry leaf. I kind of want to go back to it now and see if I can get anything. I'll put this back in the bag, that's better. So very, very sweet. I can't pull out any specific fruit. A bit like cornflakes. Oh, okay. I know what's coming back to me. I remember having a cereal a long time ago, and it was something like, I don't remember the brand, but it was like cornflakes with dried raspberries and maybe some other dried fruit in there. But it's the raspberries it's the dried raspberries that I'm getting. So that's the fruit that I'm gonna say. It's dried raspberries. But there's a bit of that weedy cornflake aroma coming off the dry leaf too. So that tells me that this is probably gonna be a very green tea, which by the looks of the cold brew, it is. I mean, it's a very light, very clean. Not much activity at all, just a few suspended particles, some fuzzies in there, but not much. Oh, I like this one. So it's very clean, very thirst quenching. But the one character that I love about this tea, that I love in all teas that have this character in a way, is there's a tiny bit of bitterness that's hitting the undersides of my tongue. And I love that. I don't know exactly what creates that, but if anyone knows, please tell me. And yeah, I mean, the taste has definitely been has definitely been influenced by the smell of the dry leaf, because I'm getting that kind of, like I said, kind of weedy, bready thing with the dried raspberries. And you get a bit of the aroma too from the liquor. That kind of aids in that. Really good. I'm really happy so far. Really excited about this. I really like the high mountain oolongs from Taiwan. That's kind of my thing, especially the Jin Xuan. And you can see this cake is not tightly compressed, but it's gonna take a little bit to really get it opened up. So excited to see how it changes throughout the course of these infusions. So they're starting to break up just a, ooh, shoot, that's hot. I gotta be careful with that. My goodness. You can see the leaves starting to break up. Oh, still wet. See how long I can hold it there. Yeah, starting to break up, but still pretty much together. So it's not as like yeasty, bready, cornflakey as I thought it would be. It's actually that flavor, that aroma has kind of subdued a bit, and it's really more sweet than anything. But yeah, that bouquet is just beautiful. Man, it's so pretty. My goodness. That's the one thing that I do appreciate about tea as well, is the look of the leaves. You know, there's taste, there's smell, but there's something about, you know, looking at the leaves that really do something for me. And these are beautiful, just copper and almost red. So yeah, so far I'm still gonna go with the dried raspberry. So I did read the brewing parameters online, and it was suggested at near boiling and 45 seconds. But I'm gonna do 15 seconds, even though it may be a very light brew. I figure I can always step it up after, you know what I mean? Plus, I think a short brew time will also allow me to really see what differences, if any, happen because of the leaves like really blossoming out. So, you know, right around infusion 3 or 4, I'm certain they will be completely unfurled and ready to release everything they have. As you can see, they're really starting to come apart now, but still kind of compact in there. Aroma hasn't changed much. Still, I'd say sort of a cornflake type thing going on. A little bit of activity, but not a whole lot. So very clean brew. And color is almost like a white grape juice, like a green grape. Okay. So, no bitterness, but because I've already tasted the cold brew, I know that there's some bitterness in there. And being that this is near boiling water, I'm certain that that bitterness is only going to come out with longer steeps. So already I'm starting to get an idea of what I want to do with this. Importantly though, 15 seconds was enough to give me just a little bit of sweetness, but not a lot. Actually, what's more forward right now is the kind of yeasty, bready thing, which is typical of such a green oolong. But still very sweet, just not like a fruit sweetness. I have to think that the fruit sweetness is going to come out at lower temps. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go again, really hot water, but I'm gonna steep this for a full minute and see what we get. And I'm really tempted to go longer than a minute just to see if I can overbrew this thing. Like I said, based on the cold brew, I think it may be possible. And so let's, the leaves are really starting to unfurl now. I mean, they are just packed in that Gaiwan. And I really didn't even cover all the leaves with the water. So I think we're gonna have a lot of infusions. I will be very disappointed if this thing doesn't last like many infusions. It's really good. So far, I don't have any sort of activity going on in my tummy, which I'm happy about, you know. If anything, it's actually quelled a bit of the hunger pains that I was experiencing right before I started. Yeah, really sort of a calming effect, I guess, in the stomach, if anything. Don't really have a caffeine hit as of yet, but I think I need a couple more infusions to make that determination. So I said a minute. I'm gonna try to go as long as I can. I can't talk enough about how pretty that bouquet is. I mean, it is gorgeous. I really like it. I'm gonna have fun staring at this thing. I think I'm gonna take some pictures too. And, you know, purposely trying to overbrew this thing. Let's see if it's possible. Because I don't know if it is. I really don't. All right, I think that's long enough. Let's see what we get here. My goodness, the color has definitely darkened. It's no longer that green grape. The aroma hasn't changed much. This is infusion number 2, and the leaves are completely unfurled. It is a thick bush in the Gaiwan now. So it wasn't that compressed. Again, really pretty bouquet. You can see there the green and the red. It's like an autumn color. It's beautiful. And I think that's kind of what you're going for when you're processing these oolongs. Like, you're taking spring material that is very, you know, verdant spring green, and then you're damaging the leaves in such a way to bring about what you would see on a fall or autumn picking. And this one was done well as far as I can tell. That looks really good. My goodness, I mean, almost every leaf has that coloration. It's just beautiful, and they're big leaves too. I don't know much about the Chinese picking and processing of oolongs. I know that Taiwan is really known for those big leaves rolled with the stems and everything. So here's the color. Again, very clean brew, very clean brew. I mean, almost no activity at all. It is pretty much see-through. There's just a little bit of particulate floating, but not a lot at all. Color is definitely something like still green, but I don't know. It's hard to describe. But yeah, it's like almost, I don't know, it's weird. Wow. No bitterness, none whatsoever. That is amazing. So this thing cannot be overbrewed. And right away, right now, I will say that is why I prefer the cold brew for this particular tea, because the cold brew, you get that hit of bitterness that hits you just in the right place. The hot brew, I don't know how long I brewed that for, but yeah, there's just no way. The other thing too that I'm noticing, and I'll find out in the next few infusions, is that there's not much there. It's not much there. It's whatever was there is not there anymore. I mean, it's something, but it's not much. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go with cooler temps. Gonna take this to 55, and based on that second fusion, I have to think I'm gonna need to let this steep for a while. To get anything out of it. But also at the same time, like, I want to experiment too. So I will start at 30 seconds and then go from there. Is how we'll handle that. All right. And I have to use quite a bit of water to cover these leaves. They're very voluminous. Again, just a gorgeous bouquet, man. I can't get over how pretty those leaves look. And I said this, you know, I think after the first infusion, I was like, I'll be disappointed if this thing does not like go a long time. And so I'm gonna find out now with this infusion if that is the case. And I forgot to look at my watch, but we're close to 30 seconds. All right, let's go. Maybe like 5 seconds more, something like that. All right, that's gotta be 30 seconds. And then the next one, I'll steep much longer. So either I'm hungry or the aroma has changed to something a bit savory. That's strange. As you see, the leaves, pretty leaves. Yeah, I mean, so far I'm not like super impressed. based on the aroma, I don't think this steep is going to be much at all, and that is a real shame. It's just it's almost dishwater as far as the aroma goes. It's just not much there. So again, this one is actually a bit more activity than the previous steeps. And that must mean that the leaves are still like really opening up. Oh, it's just not strong. It's just not strong. It's not bad. It's not strong enough. The flavor power is not there. The first infusion, like, it was there. I was able to pick up on it, got it, right? But this one, no. So what I'm gonna do is this next infusion, I'm going to allow this to steep 55 Celsius water for as long as my patience will allow, and see if I can get anything at all. Because, I mean, it's something, but it's not a lot. It's just not a lot. Not a lot. And while I wait, I'm gonna have more of this cold brew, because I have a feeling that this cold brew is going to be so good. I have a feeling. Let's see. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh. Whew. Okay. I have to admit something. I prefer oolongs cold brewed, because even like the oolongs, the Taiwan oolongs that I have right now, I prefer them cold brewed. So, you know, maybe there's a personal bias there, but yeah, it's just, now that I've tasted the hot brew, I'm going back to the cold brew. The cold brew, the flavor is not like super strong or super sharp either. There is flavor there. The thing that I love about the cold brew though is you do get a bit of that bitterness that touches my tongue in all the right places, even a little bit on the tip. It's amazing. So good, and it washes over your tongue. It's so good. I'm gonna drink the heck out of that cold brew, and I hope and I pray that it goes at least 2 times. You know, I doubt it'll go 3, but man, if it makes it twice, then that's really good. All right. I don't know how long it's been. I want to try to give it as long as possible, because I think that's just kind of, you know, even with the brewing parameters I read online, you know, 45 seconds is not typical for a tea when you talk about Gongfu style brewing. So I think this tea just needs more time to, you know, get out its flavor. And obviously hot water. I mean, the first infusion was good, but dialing up the heat and steep times don't seem to do much for it. So maybe lower temps and lower steep times will work. Maybe even something like grandpa style. The aroma is nice. It's not like overpowering or anything, but it's nice. So that's as long as I can take. All right, so color is about what it was with the first infusion at 15 seconds. So not a lot, but a bit more material in the liquor as well. Yep, that's it. So when the water is too hot, it somehow dulls the flavor. So you gotta go with lower temps. And I'll say grandpa style because you can't overbrew this thing at all. So that's the way to go. So again, this is Zhangping Shui Xian from ITEAWORLD. And yeah, so lower temps, longer steep times, and you'll get yourself a really nice brew. Very sweet, very fruity. A little bready, just from the green leaf. But again, that's what you're looking for from these green oolongs. From me to you.